Howdy everyone, this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I put together this floor or wall fall sign. Alright, so to create my fall sign I will need some sort of a wood plank or plaque, and I ideally would like something that's at least 36 inches by 8 inches wide. But I found these are two pieces from Hobby Lobby, and they are 48 by 3 inches. So I'm going to put them together and it'll be 6 inches wide, which is good enough for the size of the letters that I'm going to do. This is $10.99 at Hobby Lobby, and I did get them at 40% off, so you want to make sure you grab things on sale or cut your own piece of scrap wood. Also from Hobby Lobby, I grabbed these lettering here. I got these last year on clearance. I don't recall if they were 80 or 90% off, but they do have them again this year. They're 40% off. Of course, you can grab your letters from anywhere. I think they may even have some at the Dollar Tree. Also, you could grab some wood cutouts. These are like a paper mache or cardboard style, and the A is a leaf, but I really like this, so I'm going to use this for my sign. From the Dollar Tree, I've had this little package of maple leaves, so I'm going to use some of these leaves on my sign. I also have a scrap piece of ribbon. This ribbon I had also grabbed from the Dollar Tree some time ago, and I've been using it for my fall projects, and I still have a little bit left. And here I have a little chenille stem that I'm going to use to tie that up. I want to embellish my sign with this nautical rope that I grabbed from the Dollar Tree. Of course, you can use whatever you want to use. This is a 7.9 foot length, or almost a half of a meter, 2.5 meter. I think this might be enough, but I do have a little scrap piece here just in case I need extra, so you might want to have one or two. Of course, my sign is a 48 inches long, and I want to go around two sides and the top part. Now, if you're using something shorter, you might be able to use just one package of rope. Okay, so I do want my sign to have some lights. So I had this 20 pack of clear lights. These are mini lights, and it is a 5-foot length of 20 lights, and I had two packages, so I've gone ahead and I've opened them and tested them out to make sure they work. I did grab these from the Dollar Tree. I believe I got them last year, so you can grab these from wherever you have, or maybe you already have some existing lights you can use, either battery operated or plug-in. If they're going to be used outdoor, make sure your lights say outdoor. These are only for indoor use, so you want to keep that in mind. Okay, mine are going to be under a covered porch, so I think I'll be okay with that. Okay, so I want to paint the fall letters, so I want to use some brown. I've got a really pretty orange here, and this green as well. These are acrylic paints. Alright, so for my tools, I'm going to be using my hot glue gun, and of course I've got some glue sticks here. I've also got this white glue ready, or I could use some Mod Podge. I've got my staple gun with some staples, scissors, a brush, and something to measure and mark with. Alright, so now that I have all my supplies ready, let's get to crafting. Okay, so I forgot to mention that I'm going to be using these popsicle sticks. These are the thick, like tongue depressor type. You can use the thinner ones if that is all you have. I don't know how many of these I'm going to use, so I just grabbed a bunch. I'm going to start off by painting my letters. So I've got some orange there set aside on my little piece of scrap foam board. You can use a little paper plate. But anyway, I was looking at these letters, and as I unpackaged them, I realized they are kind of heavy, and I said they were a paper mache or a cardboard, but they seem to be made out of maybe a particle wood or something. It doesn't say anywhere on the packaging. It doesn't really matter what you use. I just wanted to point that out about these particular ones in case you happen to find them and you feel that they're heavy and you're like, oh, this is not what she used, and then maybe you're looking for what I did use. But anyhow, it just, like I said, it doesn't matter. They're still very nice. They have a nice weight to them, and I believe that's so that they can stand up nicely like that. But I'm going to go ahead and start painting them. So I'm going to start using the orange first on my letters. So I'm just going to give them a nice little coat. I'm going to let them dry, continue on with something else, and then once this is dried, I'm going to check it and see if I need to add an extra coat. Now I do want to embellish a little bit with the brown and the green that I had, so for now I'm going to paint everything orange, and I shall be back. Alright, so here I have my two pieces of plank wood that I purchased. I think they're really nice. I went ahead and I looked at both sides, and I liked this particular side for the front of my sign. As you can see here, they have this weathered look, and they have the, you know, little holes in them where obviously another piece was here and it was part of a fence, or at least they made it look like it was part of a fence. Now I don't have that extra little piece, which would be great to give it that look again. Now if you have a piece of wood or a plank that's wide enough for your lettering and you don't have to put these two pieces together, then you can skip this next part. But I do want to point out that because my planks are 48 inches long, that means my sign will be 48 inches tall. Now 36 inches would be just fine for the height of my sign. Now I could take these and cut these down to 36 inches, which would leave me 12 pieces of scrap, so that when I put them together, I could take that 12-inch scrap piece, cut it in half for 2 6-inch pieces, and then add those at the top, closer to the top, and then closer to the bottom, and give it that, you know, that look where it has like a fence piece going across this way. Instead of, like, if I was to turn this around and put these right here, these are really close together, so I don't have room for my lettering. So if I was to turn this around, place my letterings in there, then I could decide where I could have those two pieces go across, if they would fit. Now I've already done some measuring and my letters won't fit at all, so I'm going to skip that part. But that's just an idea, so that if you do happen to have these two pieces, or if you have some pieces that are long enough where you can cut them, you know that you can use maybe some scraps to put across like that, and that will look really pretty. Okay, so that idea holds these two pieces together, and I don't have that. And I'm not going to do that because my letters are kind of tall. So I'm going to use these popsicle sticks. So that's what they're for. I'm going to be using them in several places so that I can staple like that. Now I could use some wood glue. Maybe some wood glue right here in the center to put it all together. I'm just going to use my hot glue gun, and I'm going to use my staples. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is just, you know, kind of line these up and just go and try to hold them together like that. And just put as many staples as you want. Alright, so I have finished placing staples, and it holds it up pretty good. I'm really happy with that. But just to make sure that they're not going to really move around on me, I'm going to add the popsicle sticks. So I'm just going to glue them on first. And try to look for some areas that are pretty level. Because like this one isn't where I placed this one, and I can see gaps. Now I can see a little bit of gap between the two little planks here, but I don't mind that. Okay, so I'm going to put as many popsicle sticks as I feel comfortable putting on here. Alright, so I've placed all the popsicle sticks that I want, so now I can just go ahead and staple them. Okay, so now I want to do the same to the rest of them, and I will be back once all that is done. Alright, so I've stapled them all, and I've actually gone ahead and added more staples here and there just to make sure that it's not going to come apart. Now, if you want to hang this on the wall, this is where you want to put something in the back, a little piece of wire or something, or a little frame hook in the back so that you can hang it. Okay, so now mine's ready. I'm going to turn it around so I can look at it, and I'm really happy with the way it is together. I'm very satisfied with it. So now I'm going to go back to my letters and add some brown and some green to them. Okay, so for the brown, I'm going to add first, I'm going to take a little bit of the paint on my dry brush, and I'm going to dab some of it off on a napkin, and then I'm just going to just brush it like so, because I just wanted to get it on the edges to just kind of give them an aged look, and don't worry about how that looks. Okay, if you want to do it down the sides, do that as well. Inside there. Get some, you know, little bits where it's a little bit more than in some sections, as you can see here. Look at that. Just like that. Let me do this here. That little corner dirty. Okay, there we go. just like that. So I'm going to do that to all of my letters and to the leaf. Okay, so I've done the weathering or the distressing to the orange with some brown. And now I'm going to do just a leaf with a little bit of a green. Again, I want to dab some of it off on my brush. And this one I'm going to go like bigger strokes inward, like that. Now, if you feel like, oh, you put too much in there, then grab a little bit more of your orange and go over that. Now, I'm not going to do the little sides. I'm going to leave them kind of brownish there. Let me add a little bit more because I think I want to go over it with the orange after. And then a little bit more brown. I'm just going to put some of this green right here in the middle. Grab anything that's dripping, and if I paint it on the sides, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so I'm just going to clean my brush with my napkin. Take a little bit more orange. Dab. Spread that inward because we want to make this green leaf. It's turning, it's turning orange. It's turning colors because of fall. So we want that orange over the green. And now I can go back with the brown. Just make a big old mess on my napkin. And brown the edges. But I'm going to wait till this orange dries, and I'm going to do the same thing and add this little brown effect on top, but I'm not going to spread it out so far in. Okay? I'll be back. Alright, so my letters are dry, but I've set them aside over here. So now what I want to do is I want to put some lights around the edge. Now these lights are 20 count, so they're 5 foot, it says, of light, but it's obviously not quite that much, or if it is, most of it is not lighted. So I'm just going to start somewhere at the top up here and put a light kind of on the top here, and then just curve my way down, and then just let it end wherever it happens to end. And that is fine because I want to place my letters a little closer to the top because this is going to go against the wall, and I think at the bottom here on the wall I want to put a little haystack and maybe something here. So obviously I don't want that last letter way down here where it's going to get covered. So it's going to be a little bit more in this height. So I'm going to go ahead and accept whatever length I have here and just staple as I go down. But what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I'm not stapling the wire. I'm just like stapling over it. So you want to make sure you do that. And I'm not going to put that many staples. What I'm doing is I'm just going to stretch it a bit like that. And then just carefully staple over it. And that's it. Try not to break any of your lights while you're doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side, and then I'll do the other side with this other string of lights. Of course, I'm not going to start right next to this other little light. I want a little bit apart, so it'll be the same as how this one starts. So just take your lights, whatever you happen to have, and align them first. Stretch them out, see how they're going to fit, and fix them in the order that you need them to be before you start stapling anything. Or maybe you prefer to use some other way of attaching them on here. Now, I did try putting the lights on the edge here, on the outer edge here, which is what my first thought was to be, because that would give me more space here for my letters. But I was having a hard time getting my stapler to go into the side here. It kept moving on me. But if you're able to do that, I think it would be better if it was on the outer edge rather than on the top edge. Okay, so I'm going to finish putting the lights, and then I'm going to come back with some rope to hide the green wire from the light. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add this nautical rope all the way around. So I'm just going to start at the closest to the bottom edge here. I don't have to go all the way down because I want to make sure that I can get as much of it around. And I do have some rope here in case I need to do a little patch of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue the rope down. So I'm going to start at this little end here and glue that down. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that it's placed over, or at least hiding the wire. So I'm just going to put some some glue in little spots here and there, and just let the wire kind of either hide behind it like that to the side. Yeah, I think that would be best. And just making sure that the staple here gets covered. So I'm just going to put glue, putting the rope down, and I'm just going to continue. I'd like these little lights to be facing inward, but it doesn't really matter. I think maybe they'll be best if they're just sticking out a little bit like that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue on and just gluing it in certain spots. I don't want to glue it on the wire, I just want to glue it on the wood. So right here, it's going to go on the staple. And I'm going to continue and I'll work my way around like I said, and if I have a little spot where I have to finish, I'll just butt the ends like that and finish, and then just cut off the excess. Alright, I'll be back once this is all glued down. Okay, so I put the rope all the way around, and I tried my best. I couldn't really hide any of the green wire. Since I had stapled it up on the top, it was really hard. I think the best thing is to get it on the sides, or if you can get it maybe from behind instead and get the lights to stick out. That would probably be the best deal. I still think it looks pretty cool with the rope on there. It does do a little bit to kind of hide it. And I think once it's, you know, lit up and everything, I think it looked really nice. Okay, so my rope ended up ending right about the same spacing of where I started. So that one piece of rope was enough. I didn't have to use this. So just keep in mind, my sign is 48 inches tall, 6 inches wide, and well, I forgot how much I said this was in the packaging. I said it in the beginning. So just one package of that would be enough for this. So if your sign was just a little bit smaller, even though it's 2 inches wider, it'll go around this, you know, the nautical rope will go all the way around you. So you probably just need one. Okay, so now the next thing is for me to place my letters, and I said that I wanted to leave some space down here. So I'm going to put the last letter first. I should say the last letter first, and then I can place these more or less. And this is where you want to use your measuring and a pencil, which I put away. Let me grab one. Okay, here we go. This is where you want to use your measuring device, whatever you have, and a pencil to mark where you want to put your letters, or if you just want to eyeball it, you know, just you can do that, which is kind of what I'm going to do. So let's see. I want to make sure it's centered. So I'm actually using this little line here where they meet up. That's my center. So I'm just centering the letter on that. There we go. This one's got a little bit of paper sticking out. There we go. From when I was painting it, some of the paper got stuck. And I want to put the leaf a little bit tilted, and I think that looks really pretty. So just place your letters where you want them, and then you can start gluing them. I do want to use, excuse me, I want to use this package of leaves. So I want to place those, and I was going to use I was going to use my white glue to glue these down. But I'm thinking now that I'm just going to use my hot glue gun. So I can just glue these wherever I want. Maybe some on top of the letters, some at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to place some, you know, like under the letters. So that's what I'm going to do. Start gluing. There we go. I'm just going to randomly put that one right up here. Let me put a green one as well. So maybe you want to do that first. Put some on the bottom, or rather on your board first. Let's get these out of the way. There we go. This way. Let me get a red one over here. Oops. Let's go this way. And I'll just keep placing these just wherever. Alright, so now that I've placed some leaves and just some sort of a random, you know, pattern here on there, I'm going to go ahead and place my letters back on top. And then if I need more leaves on below. See, like this one, I feel like I covered that one up a little too much, so I'm going to take that one off. Just peel it off. This is a little bit angled, so I'm going to put it on the other corner up here. Okay. And center these, and I also feel like maybe this one's a little too much. It's being covered a little too much, so I'm going to put it down this way. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Okay, so now I can space these again. A little bit lower on this one, a little bit lower. Okay, now I feel like I want another one of like this one here. I need more glue. You may hear my little fan in the background. Please forgive me for the little fan. It gets warm after a little while in here. This is the coolest room, but I get really warm. I'm just sort of a warm person, so I need my little fan. Okay, let's see. I think that looks good. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue them down with my glue gun, and I want to put lots of glue on them. So let me grab some more glue and I shall be back. Okay, so I am going to recommend that if you want to use a glue like an E6000 instead of using your hot glue, that might be better for the letters. Especially these, I've discovered that they're like a wood, like, you know, those wood blocks that kids play with, that type of wood. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and see where this one kind of, just going to put the glue on the back here. Like I said, I'm going to put lots of it. That on there. Okay, so I'm more or less about 2 inches apart with each, you know, the bottom of the tip of the next item. Okay, so I'm gonna do the last one, and what I'm doing is I'm putting like big puddles of glue, because if you just put like a little strings like this, by the time you get around over here and come back, this is already dry. So make sure you put nice globs of glue on the back, because you have to put so much on there that by the time you're done, like I said, some parts will be dry and you don't want that, because that just defeats the purpose. Okay. About 2 inches, a little bit less, a little bit less. There we go. All right, so now if we want, we can add some more leaves on the top, which I'm going to do. Little leaf right here. There we go, just like that. All right, everyone, I had the ribbon that I showed you at the very beginning, and I decided not to have to put that on there. I feel like this is enough of what's on there, so it's up to you if you want to add more decor. Now remember, I left the bottom undecorated because I feel like I want to put either a little haystack or maybe some little pumpkins down at the floor in front of it, so I didn't want to cover any of the lettering. So if you plan on doing that, keep in mind where you're going to put the sign, whether it's going to be behind something or if you're going to rest it on top of some haystacks. Are there going to be any little pumpkins or little scarecrows, anything like that that might cover it? So just keep that in mind. All right, everyone, I'm really happy with the way the sign turned out, so I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. So make sure you give me a big old thumbs up and leave a nice comment down below and let me know what you think. What would you do different? I think you could change it around for any season if you want to paint the letters on there rather than buying separate letters. That's a good idea as well. Use a stencil for that. Give us all your little things, your little suggestions. Share your ideas in the comments below. I want to thank everybody who's been subscribing to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, but it's really important that you do give me a like, and please leave a comment down below. And make sure you share my Facebook, Trisha's Creations, where you can post pictures of your crafts or even recipes on that page and share with everybody. And everyone, please share on your social medias. Be kind to each other, respect each other, share the love, and as always, enjoy.